Texas Democrats just triggered a political crisis, and now they're facing arrest, felony charges, and even the loss of their seats. Before we go any further, make sure you're subscribed to Explain America. Like, comment, share. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Here's what happened. A group of Texas Democrats fled the state to block a vote on redistricting. If the GOP-backed map passes, it could add up to 5 new Republican seats to the U.S. House, a massive shift in power. So instead of staying and voting, the Democrats walked out, breaking quorum and halting the process. Governor Greg Abbott, however, isn't letting them off the hook. In a formal statement, Abbott gave the missing lawmakers until 3 p.m. on Monday, today, to return to the Capitol or face serious consequences. If they don't show, he says he'll invoke Attorney General guidance, allowing him to declare their seats vacant and fill them immediately.
Midterms.
If Donald Trump is allowed to do this, if he is allowed to once again cheat and get away with it, there is no stopping this. This will spread across the country.
This is un-American, and this is undemocratic. Republicans are stealing our democracy right before our very eyes.
But with Democrats out of the state, the vote that was scheduled to take place during the state's special session is at risk.
We know that you are making great sacrifices to resist the power grab that's being perpetrated by Donald Trump, by Governor Abbott, and by Texas Republicans. We will not let power go unchecked,
Right.
or let your voices and their voices go unheard.
DNC Chair Ken Martin displaying his support for Texas Democrats as well, saying, quote, "For weeks, we've been warning that if Republicans in Texas want a showdown to cravenly protect Trump from an inevitable midterm meltdown, then we give them that showdown." The DNC is proud to support these legislators in standing up and showing real leadership. The proposal at issue could net 5 new GOP seats, redrawing lines to include more Republican-leaning areas in cities like Dallas and in Houston. You're going to see how it all plays out 3 p.m. in Texas. Back over to you.
All
Good
right,
stuff,
Todd, thank you.
You know, it's amazing to listen to Democrats complain about this. Nobody has mastered the gerrymandering game more than Democrats have. But I do think it's so telling. What makes people mount the barricades? Is it all the problems that their constituents are suffering through, or is it just their access to power? Well, they mount the barricades over their own power.
Well, they could have retained power if they played ball. This was always going to happen if the moderate Dems left and were replaced by, progressives there. There's been many of times where, past representatives said, okay, we'll give and take with the Republicans. And so they allowed them to keep their drone area because there was a way to do government with them. But now that you have the Crockett's of the world who don't want to play ball, they don't want to work for the constituents of both parties. Now the Republicans are like, okay, kick rocks.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. So he's got the threat out there to remove them if they don't return today. But by the way, if they don't return today and they wait, he can start another special session and that timeline starts over again. They'll have to go home eventually and go back.
Well, he
soon.
can also call the Texas Rangers and DPS to come pull their tails back to the state of Texas. He does have that authority as well. Hopefully it doesn't escalate to that. But they have chosen these offices, and he is part of the law in Texas.
And Lee, that's not all. He's also threatening criminal prosecution under Texas bribery laws for any lawmakers or outside groups helping fund their absence. Abbott wrote, quote, "This truancy ends now. These absences were premeditated for an illegitimate purpose," unquote. But here's the twist. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is reportedly helping the Texas Democrats avoid arrest. Yes, another state governor, and a 2028 hopeful by some accounts, is now involved brokering protection for lawmakers evading their own legislature. If that holds, Abbott says he'll use extradition powers to force a return. This is spiraling into a state versus state showdown. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Control of Congress may hang in the balance. The Texas House reconvenes Monday at 3 p.m. If those Democrats don't show, they may never get to vote again. This has been Kyle Becker with Explain America. Please share your comments about this story. We appreciate it.